About getting licensed in California and Hawaii pretty soon.
Nope,
So
he's going to get it
tuned.
in Cali and Hawaii pretty soon.
Oh, I gotta get the telephone number.
And welcome. This is Dan.french here. I'm in studio with Chuck. It's Krulsawat from Simply Vegas. This is LV Home Experts, the show. I'm also in studio with Brett Jenny. Brett, what's going on today, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Just kicking it on a Saturday.
Kicking it on a Saturday. It's nice weather going on right now, huh?
Beautiful. It's going to about ready to get hot, but right now, take advantage of it, right?
Yeah, everybody's always really kind of out and about now, especially after the, kind of, I guess you could say post-COVID, a little bit. Some people are going back to work. Some people aren't, unfortunately. So, Chuck, what's going on with you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. What's going on? It's good to be back.
Good to be back. We got a lot of stuff going on. This is a real estate and financing show, and we're going to talk a lot about what's going on in the real estate market here in Las Vegas. Chuck, you got any news for any of the audience out there about what's happening in Las Vegas right now with real estate?
Well, before we get started, if you guys have any questions, you guys want to call into the show, go ahead and call in at 702-257-8396.
All right.
As far as what's going on, you know what's crazy? I drove down the strip last night. It was slightly busy, not like how it normally is busy, but I noticed that the crowd, there's no social distancing whatsoever.
No. And you know what? I think it's gone now for the most part. I think with all of the things that's happened, you see a lot of people out there that are really not taking it serious for others. Everybody's got their opinion, right?
Yeah, and I almost got beat up last night too.
Oh, you did? What?
Dude, really? Yeah. I'm driving, right? And pulling out with my truck, and you slowly creep up at the light. So I happened to glance looking left, and there was this hillbilly, right, with this truck, and there was two dudes in it, and it was from Arizona. As soon as I looked over, I wasn't even looking at him. He goes, "What's up?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, sir."
Man, you always almost in a fight, man.
What's up? Nothing.
Chuck's always, looking and what do you call it? Observing? What is it?
Yeah, I guess so.
People watch?
It's what are you looking at? It's I wasn't even trying to look at you. I was just how you get to literally just turn around?
Yeah.
So it was perfect timing. We eye to eye, lock contact. I was like, bro, I wasn't even trying to do anything, man.
Did you cruise the strip?
Normally, yeah, I do.
Oh, you didn't yesterday, though?
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Did you see?
That's how I got in that conversation.
Did you see? Yeah, but did you see how?
Well, so my point is
rewind here.
Yeah. So my point is what I'm trying to get to is that last night it just seems like everybody's coming out now.
Yeah.
But everybody's really
aggressive.
It's
super
crazy.
Aggressive. I just had that scenario at the lights coming here to the studio.
Really?
I look over, some guy's just looking right at me. He's like, "Sup?" I'm like, "Hey, man."
Hey, you know
just
what?
Trying to go make some money,
Yeah.
My girl was coming home from work and they crossed the street they had some people walking across the crosswalk.
Yeah.
She's waving. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Everybody's like, "Whatever." All of a sudden, you see people walking past. They had guns over their shoulder. I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, they had guns over their shoulder.
Well, this place is the Wild Wild West.
I'll tell you, man. I was just like, "What?"
Now it's all in full force.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy. So, well, let's go. What's going on in Las Vegas right now with real estate? What's happening? What people want to know. Brett, you just brought it up. When's the market going to collapse, Chuck? When is that going to happen? No,
nobody knows, man.
$1 million
You gotta have
question.
a crystal ball. Exactly. Everybody. Matter of fact, when I was coming here, a lady called me from Denver. She was thinking about doing a 1031 exchange on her home because she was like, the thing about it is everybody's saying the market is going to collapse. With everything that's going on with this coronavirus, didn't the market tank? Well, in the month of April, it dropped by 50%. However, home pricing has increased. A lot of people are moving. So, and you also have to understand the forbearance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because she was talking about isn't there a lot of people that can't pay their mortgage and they're going to get foreclosed on? Well, think about this. If you have a forbearance until the end of the year and it doesn't even affect your credit, why would they even move?
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
You see what I'm saying?
I think it's something that you should take advantage if you have to, though.
If anything that I've noticed, less people have put their home on the market.
Yeah.
More people have taken it off. So actually the demand is actually more because there's less supply.
I got a question, Denise. Is this microphone? Are they clean?
She don't care.
Hey, I was just thinking about.
I'm back here working.
I was just thinking about this.
Hey,
Are these microphones clean?
You'll be quarantined.
That's the other department, right?
Did you get your temperature checked when you got in here? Because I got mine.
Oh, talking about that, dude. When I went to the Orleans, because our bowling league just got done, we literally just walked in, right? Because I had to go get some money. And as you pass the security guard, they got like these little like, infrared sensor things.
Yeah.
And it shows you your temperature. It was kind of crazy. So I was like, hey,
Really?
can I take a look at it?
Wow.
So the guy took me
Wow.
behind it, right? And as people are walking in, you can see everybody's temperature. And there's like this little laser that like focuses on the heads as you walk in.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow, this is getting futuristic for me, bro.
Well, I think people are starting to see that, everything out there right now is dangerous. There's people who look at this, and what I get a lot is people are like, there's a guy I was speaking to that's he's actually from Europe. And he's like, you talk to some of my family back in Europe, and they're taking it real serious. And he's like, some of these people here, man, you go in casinos, and it's just like another day, and it's just like, he's like, I don't see how they're not taking it this serious as Europe's taking it.
Until you
like,
get it.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't really go to casinos, so I really can't, say anything about that. But Brett, you go to casinos?
No,
You don't gamble?
no.
I thought you'd be one guy that would be missing gambling, man.
I have other vices. Just not gambling.
That's funny, man. So what do you guys got going on with real estate right now? What's happening? I think a lot of people want to know what's going on with the housing market. Also, what's happening? Are prices kind of stagnated right now? Or are we starting to go down and depreciate?
That's a very good question. So let's start off by the number of sales. And the data I have is for the month of May. So if we look for the month of May, we only closed 1,706 properties. But if we looked at like 2015, we actually closed in the month of May as 2,777 properties. 2016, 3,000 properties. 2017, 3,500 homes. 2018, 3,100 homes. 2019, 3,300 homes. So we lost about 50% of the market at that time.
So
obviously that was its peak when it tanked. But here's the thing, though. The price per square foot actually gone up, all the way up to $176 a square foot. But the question is, why is the price per square foot going up?
supply and demand.
Supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird how that just works?
Yeah.
And a lot of people thinking this market is going to tank, but at this point, I don't even know what is going on. It's unbelievable.
Well, I think there's a lot of movement going on with rates too. So people are still
Big
like,
part.
hey, they're not going back to work right away. But I get people all the time that says, look, I'm going back to work in a week or two. Please hold my spot. I got the application. I want to get a loan or I want to get a refi or something.
Yeah.
And it's because they know rates are low.
I have past clients calling me right now wanting to buy investment properties because the rates are so low.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a good time.
What was the last rate you locked in?
I mean, it was for an 800 plus credit score, but it was like high twos.
Still too high. I want one. Any 1%ers out there?
Can I get it from 0% because that's what they're getting?
Why don't the bank pay you and they'll get you a loan?
That's a good idea. Disclosure, we're just having fun. This is not real.
Like oil.
Oh man. So you look at what's going on with the housing market. Where's the hot spots? Are there any places right now with new homes? You got a lot of following with new homes, right? A lot of people follow you with that. So is that like the number one question is where's the new spot coming up with new homes? Where is that happening at?
You know what? For some apparent reason, I even got a call today. Everybody always talks about Summerlin, but there are so many other great spots throughout the Las Vegas Valley. It just really comes down to exactly what is it that you are looking for, the type of neighborhood, the price point you are in as well. But I mean, if we took a look at Summerlin right now, obviously the price per square foot in Summerlin is $206 a square foot.
That's still high, right?
Dude, we went in April from $196 to $206 a square foot. 41 days on the market. You know how many days on the market right now? 22 days.
Wow.
What's the price per square foot now?
The price per square foot is $206.
Yeah, I believe it, man. I was looking at single stories for an investor today, 1,300 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I don't care what part of the city. I mean, things are coming in. The single stories are coming in at probably $215 to $226 a square foot. Not even in Summerlin.
So like Vegas, and
crazy.
if you compare Vegas to Summerlin, like obviously Summerlin's a lot more desirable.
Well, let's talk about the whole Las Vegas Valley in general.
Okay.
So if we take a look, the median price point for a home is $325,000 and $176 a square foot. Average days on the market now for a home is only 19 days. But if we break it down by areas like the west side, the east side, all those numbers are going to change and it's going to fluctuate. And also that what's going to break down based upon the neighborhood, the community too as well. So there is a lot of moving parts. But now if we take a look at the financing part, financing consideration, and this should also be important, 11% are cash buyers, 50% are conventional buyers, 22% is FHA buyers, and 17% are VA buyers. So what this tells you is that, hey, The market is not tanking. And if you have cash, it doesn't mean that you can't come out here and beat up the seller. It is case by case, right? Depending on the seller situation. You always got to be at the right place at the right time, too, as well. So, again, it's case by case basis. However, where I'm starting to see where you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck is really North Las Vegas, $153 a square foot.
North Las Vegas, huh?
North Las Vegas, the city of North Las Vegas. But a lot of people don't like the city of North Las Vegas. It gets criticized a lot, but there's so much new development out there. It's crazy.
I just had this question with somebody else that's a real estate agent. Yeah. She said, it's doing well. I mean, North Las Vegas.
Most of North Las Vegas is new.
Yeah, look, there's going to be bad spots and good spots. The reason why Summerlin, I think, that gets so much publicity or so much, really everybody's desiring it is because they look at Summerlin and they look at the pictures and they look at everything's relatively new. Downtown Summerlin, we've talked about
Howard Hughes Corporation has done an amazing job marketing Summerlin. Amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't like Summerlin. Do you like Summerlin?
No, I'm not a big fan.
You said you do or don't?
I don't really care too much.
I live there. I love it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all preference. For me, it really just comes down, and I talk about this with all my clients. You have to figure out what is your lifestyle. What is it that you're looking to do? Where are you going to work, right? Yeah. What type of community you are looking for.
Yeah.
And I talk about this all the time. Like, I live in central Las Vegas. I literally live probably less than 100 yards from the Las Vegas Boulevard, right? That's my lifestyle.
Really?
Yeah. So in my neighborhood, we have nothing but entrepreneurs in a guard-gated community. It's just a small little community, right? But that's our style of neighborhood, and it works for me. But it may not work for somebody that has a family that's looking for a better school zone or anything like that. So that's why I say you got to really come out here, strap up the boots, right? You get with a realtor and look all over the place.
Yeah, I think for me, it's not about preference. I mean, I can definitely deal with Summerlin. It's just not my first choice. There's definitely some things in Summerlin, though, that I like.
I don't like the price.
Well, you're obviously overpaying.
I mean, I've lived all over.
Well,
I've lived at the top of Anthem,
Yeah.
everything. It's just, I moved to Summerlin 5-6 years ago. And then once they completed downtown Summerlin, that really did it for me.
Somebody came to you guys and said, hey, you know what? I want to buy a home in Summerlin. Will I have a lot of competition in today's market? Do you have a lot of competition with Summerlin homes right now?
Well, you're going to have competition wherever you go in today's market. I mean, we have less than 8,000 homes in the market right now. And about almost 80% of the buyers right now, they're just coming out of the woodworks. The other 20% is just all renters. And you think about this, a lot of buyers now, they're just all out of state. Everybody's just out of state. Yeah. It's just crazy.
Well, and you got also, I just heard I was listening to the radio today, and there was somebody that was talking on the radio about we're kind of post COVID, right? COVID was going on and people just pulled their houses and they're scared now to put them back on the market. Are you seeing that right now where homeowners that actually wanted to list their home and sell it, now they're a little bit cautious, a little bit scared about putting it back on? I know you got the, the forbearance and everything going on, but what's happening with that?
Here's the thing with everything that's going on now, what I've noticed is a lot of people are getting a little bit more paranoid as far as showing their property. So there's a process in place. You can't just walk up in the house anymore. You know what I mean? You got to wear a mask. Can't be touching stuff. You got to be wearing gloves. I mean, there's so many rules and regulations. And now you can't even show properties that even have a tenant. You can't even do open houses. No. So that does restrict the home sales too as well. But I mean, we're still trooping along forward. So, hey, guys, if you guys have any questions, call in live today at 702-257-8396. Again, that's 702-257-8396.
I was 5396. Yeah, we got you. 5396.
5396. What did I say?
I don't know. That's what she said. So I'm just going with it. So anyways, I was going to tell you, though, like when you look at some of these homes, that are being sold, that's new homes, where's that starting price point for somebody that, let's say I was talking to somebody today and they're like, I'm approved for $275,000. And by the time that they get the home, that even considering what they want, it's over $300,000. So where's that starting price point if somebody's out trying to buy a new home right now?
In Detroit. No. Like I said, the median price point for a home for a resale is $325,000. But again, when you start going into certain cities or certain areas of the Las Vegas Valley, that the cheapest price per square foot right now is in North Las Vegas. So you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. But it also depends, again, which neighborhood that you go in. So if you're looking for a brand new home, you're going to be very limited. Your options are always going to be limited too as well. And also, I noticed the purchase price around the $300,000. Remember, that's already 6 times the average household income here. A lot of people that are buying those type of homes, they just don't have that much money to put down. And by the time they go through the option package, they realize they don't have that much versus just buying a resale. So if you're at that price point, you may want to consider resale just due to the fact that you're going to have more options. But now, again, if you guys have any questions, call into 702-257-8396.
Hey, Brett, what challenges do you have right now with some of your clients? What are you going through? I know there's closing costs that I get it a lot now. Hey, sellers pulled their house off the market. Now it's a buyer's market. It's a buyer's market. Is that what are your challenges you're dealing with some of your clients, would you say?
Not too many issues.
At all, huh?
Not really having any problems with closing costs, getting those paid for.
Yeah.
It just depends on the situation.
Right.
If it's a highly sought after house and it's selling quick.
Yeah.
If it's been sitting there 30 days, 45 days, then obviously you try to come in a little bit lower, ask for closing costs. But for the most part, just kind of normal sales right now.
I think it's more of educating the buyers, because a lot of buyers are like, market is tank, I want $30,000 off. Like, hold on. Let's put the brakes on here. Let me educate you a little bit.
Everybody's looking for that deal.
It's just about having that upfront conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
I tell you, 5 times a week I get at least.
Yeah.
Hey, so do you think the market's going to start going back the direction like it did in 2007-8? I'm like, no.
It's a whole different market.
Yeah.
I put a YouTube video.
The banks are healthy right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great video, by the way. What's that plug?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was 2020. I don't know, Vegas something.
All right, so you go to YouTube and just.
I put out a few videos.
People are calling in the wrong number here. What's
oh
going
my
on?
goodness! No, but what I was saying was,
it's 5. That's what it is.
What?
Hey guys, if you guys have any questions and want to call live into the studio, it is 702-257-5396.
There you go. You got to put that. What is that?
I don't want to throw her under the bus, but somebody's handwriting.
So, anyways, I was going to go back to what we were talking about. So, we were talking about with the whole housing market and what's happening with these buyers, and they're getting closing costs paid. Now, I have a lot of people that are asking me, "Hey, is it a buyer's market in your guys' situation? You guys think it's more buyers or sellers right now?"
It's more of a seller's market.
Really?
But when you go over to the new homes, their incentives, they're giving you closing costs. But like some builders like American West, you may not get the closing costs because they know that they have a product that is underpriced and things are moving. So I just did a deal where we didn't get closing costs, but we did use their lender and we only got the 2%. But as far as like options and upgrades, normally we can negotiate 10 grand, 15 grand, but it just depends on the location.
Yeah. And you know what? I really think, I talked to a lot of real estate agents, and the big part of real estate, and you could probably back me up on this, Brett, is your negotiation skills. You got to kind of gauge and understand what the seller is doing, and also the seller for the most part, kind of, right?
No, you're absolutely right. A lot of people think, hey, I'm just going to get my license. You just show them the home. Dude, there's a lot of moving parts, and it really does come with experience. Mm-hmm. And you got to go through the trials and tribulations.
I can tell you from looking at the MLS, knowing the agent, one conversation with them, I can tell you right away what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what makes
I just can.
What makes
they'll go back and forth,
agent,
but I know what the end result's going to be.
What makes a good agent? An agent should be able to identify problems, because you're always going to have problems when it comes to a home. Mold, construction defect. Okay. Once you get the information, how do you resolve the problem? How do you speak to the seller? How do you speak to the buyer? Because at the end of the day, the buyer wants to buy the property. The seller wants to sell the property. So it's all about a line of communication. And here's the thing. A listing agent wants to work with a buyer's agent that can actually get the deal done.
Well, let me say this. So a lot of times when I'm talking to clients, a lot of them are your clients, but a lot of clients, the number one thing I get from them is they like the information, they like what you show, but then also they like the whole content part of it, probably as much as anything, because it helps people in this market. You talk about, do you think open houses are just a thing of the past now? Are they ever going to come back the way that they were? Or is it just, they're gone?
Open houses are great just due to the fact that, as an agent, you'll probably catch 1 or 2 buyers, but it is a thing of the past. We're in a whole new generation and an age where it's just content. And at the end of the day, people always research online. They just want to be informed. And that's all you have to do is just inform people.
There's you got to hit both sides. Yeah. If you're younger, you're going to have a little bit easier time adapting to maybe looking at maybe a virtual tour or something like that. Yeah. Versus if you're an older generation, have you guys had any people that maybe had some challenges with these virtual tours and how these work?
Yeah, at that point, then you got to go pick up the paperwork and drive it over there and get it signed. And
Yeah.
Are you pretty much doing that sometimes on Saturdays and Sundays? Because some
Yeah,
people
the
are old
last
school.
couple buyers that I've closed on, or again contract and closed on, I literally went and did all the virtual tours myself.
See,
Filmed
that's what makes a good agent, because some agents won't do what he's doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
It's the extras. It's
Yeah.
the details.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that's what's going to separate you. I told him self-leadership's a big part of being
Yeah.
in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to.
Like, yeah, don't rely on the pictures and the other person's info. Let me get in there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's
You know?
you just made a good point.
Yeah. So I think there, a lot of challenges for that. Obviously, everybody's limiting the amount of people that come in. Over at my company, we're now complete, everything online. We can even sign online if you wanted to for conventional loans. People don't even have to go into the title company anymore.
It's crazy, isn't it?
No, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm
But
just
it's just
waving
a
at
different
everybody,
world. I know, right?
Hey, you know what's funny? Pretty soon we'll be all out of business.
You want to meet? Just sign here.
Pretty soon it's going to be
Done.
some robot.
I just bought a house and got a loan, dude.
It's like, I'm there. It's like, where you at? I'm here. Trust me, I'm here.
Dude, 20 years, man. I only got 20 years left, so 20 more years, we're good by the time we get out of here,
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you going to keep going? 80s, 90s?
Hey, I'm a diehard, man. I'm a hard worker.
This guy,
I'm a grinder.
This guy said, you should, hey, do you have a real estate tattoo or something that shows you're in real estate on your body somewhere? How many tattoos you got on your body?
I don't know. I do have a lot, though.
And not one that says, you got one that says cash flow? That's your next tattoo.
Not yet.
When did you
Hey,
take your first tattoo?
when I get my first
Yeah.
tattoo? Probably like the age of 5.
Are you serious?
Like a gangster. Take a look at this.
No,
Damn.
that's not fun. No.
Is that Mickey Mouse?
Come on, bro.
Just kidding.
We got a caller. Go ahead and push the caller through. You there? How you doing?
Oh, cool.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. What's your name, sir? I'm sorry, we didn't get your name. My apologies. Steve, we're going to run with this one. What's going on, buddy? Mm-hmm.
You know what? He actually makes a good point, because I
Very
was
good
just
point.
reading an article where they just signed this new bill when they did the stimulus, where hedge funds were able to take that money, or corporate money, they were able to take that money and buy more real estate.
Now, let me ask you this, though. It's about the return on investment, though, right? So is it
Yeah.
really going to be a huge return investing in this market? People
Well-
are staying in their homes.
Well, think about this. It's more they print more and more money, right? Now we have hyperinflation. What happens if we go into the hyperinflation at this point? So your dollar's really not worth it. So if they went out and they bought money, they got to park the money somewhere. It's better to have some sort of asset versus some, paper.
Tangible
You see-
asset.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it contributes to that, but I also know a few people. I also have a property manager that I work with, and because of what's going on currently now, a lot of the landlords are not wanting to raise rents. They're trying to just keep it steady Eddie because they don't want to put themselves in jeopardy. So that could happen in maybe certain pockets, but from what I'm hearing and what I'm talking to, and these are property managers that are signing new leases, they're trying to really kind of keep it as an even keel, maybe in a different market, or maybe in a market where people, it's not so, they're staying in their homes. So they're not really forced to do anything at this point.
Now, from my experience, when the market does tank, the rental comps does tank too as well, because if the rents are too high, then what happens is they won't be able to rent out their property. Then what happens is you have one landlord competing against another landlord.
Mhm.
And that's just from my experience. But if we take a look at the rental market today, what initially happens is when home pricing goes up, the mortgage is high, and it's no longer affordable, then they start looking towards the rental side.
Steve, great questions. Call back into the studio if you want to. Anytime. We're going to be here every Saturday. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Steve.
you guys.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, anyways, we'll be right back. This is Dan French, LB Home Experts, the show. We're going to cut the break. We'll be right back here in about 2 minutes.
That was fun. That felt like we didn't even skip a beat.
So they want to know your thoughts on Spanish trails.
All right. Well, we can take some questions on.
I mean, a lot of it's just people bantering back and forth.
Yeah.
It's not a virus. It is. It's not a virus.
It's a conspiracy.
We're just sitting here observing.
Hey guys, if you guys have any questions, and I do apologize, call in today in studio at 702-257-5396. Again, that number is 702-257-5396. Also, I want to give a quick shout out to Erica Richardson. She sent me an email, a very thoughtful email. So if you're watching this, I do appreciate that. Dalen, I'm sorry. Dalen, you sent me a package yesterday, and I do appreciate it. I got that package. I have your address. So be on the lookout, man. I'm going to send you some merch. I really, really do appreciate it, man. And all those emails that I've been getting this whole week, thank you so much for the support. And we always talk about this, man. It's always about hard work. Hard work does pay off.
Hey, you going to send me some merch?
You got your own merch.
No, man, I want cash flow too.
Oh, no.
They said you need to make a T-shirt that says that's an upgrade.
Matter of fact, you know what? We are actually working on that right now.
Hey, what's the other T-shirt we're gonna make? What we said?
Oh yeah.
International money.
International money, baby.
International money.
That's gangsta. Hey, international money. Tell me that ain't gangster.
Hey, tell them if you should make sure it's like the ask them.
Take it.
That shit's hilarious.
But no, we actually do have a one of our subscribers actually. She is a graphic designer, and she's also creating the It's an Upgrade t-shirt. So those really look nice. So they're going to be coming out pretty soon. I already have the rendering, so I can't wait to wear those shirts. Again, if you guys are interested, you guys want to call in the show, 702-257-5396.
Yeah, I like this dude.
What do you
He's
say?
talking about Bitcoin.
I probably know exactly who that is because he comments on every video.
He goes,
Chuck, when are you gonna buy some Bitcoin? Bitcoin. Which is, I told you I should have bought. Remember when it was at 3,000?
I was about ready to pull.
I've been
that
telling
trigger.
another buddy of mine
Dude.
for 2 years to do it.
I had my finger on the button.
Dude, there's 2 times I missed. When it was at 3,000, and I told him, "Hey, I'm gonna buy like $6,000." I was researching. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Goes up to 20 grand, right?
Yeah.
Then this past time, this other time, I'm talking about
Couple
through
months.
Robinhood. No, through Robinhood.
Mhm.
I was gonna buy like some airline stocks.
Yeah.
Skyrocket. Didn't buy it. I'm like,
I bought Hertz at 85 cents, and that bad boy went to $5.
damn.
My buddy sucking $5,000 and made 100.
Welcome back. This is
Off
Dan
the $5
French,
grand.
your host of LV Home
$120,000.
Experts, the show. I'm in studio with my good friend Brett Jenny from Simply Vegas. Also, I'm in studio with Chuckits Krulsawat, the one and only.
The one and only.
Cash flow Chuckits Krulsawat from Simply Vegas. Chuckits, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling excellent, especially with this energy drink. It gets me pumping and going.
How hard is your heart pumping right now? It's pumping out of your shirt.
Yeah, can't you see it? The shirt's like boop, boop,
Cash
boop,
flow's
boop,
pumping
boop,
at me.
boop, boop, boop.
So let's go back. We're talking about financing and real estate, talking about a lot of different things going on with post-COVID, if you want to call it. We're back in studio. First show back in studio. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel good.
Brett, you excited over there, man? You look like you're just jumping off the wall.
Love it, man. Can barely contain myself.
Yeah, put on that mask.
So let's go back into it, man. So we're talking about a lot of homes that people are desiring right now. And, you know, we talk about what's happening with COVID. We've talked about what's going on with the forbearance. Have you guys seen a drop-off in the amount of people looking, as far as, you get a lot of people that follow you, but have you seen a drop-off as far as people wanting to make offers on homes?
No, not really. But I would say maybe less than like 5% of all our business that comes in. People are kind of just want to see what's going on. And these are the people that do have the money where they're not really buying it based upon an investment property.
Yeah.
They're more buying it, they're trying to buy it as an investment property. So they're just kind of sitting on the sidelines and they're in that position versus somebody that's looking to buy as a primary residence.
They're taking a little more.
Yeah.
They're taking their time
Exactly.
and waiting till they see the conditions that they want.
I would say 75% of the people that we all work with together
Mhm.
are out of state. coming with money that's either sold from a property that they've
Mhm.
either sold in a nicer or big, or let's just say a better or desirable area like California, New York,
East Coast.
East Coast, you know.
Mhm.
But the
other
question
places.
is why, right? So let's think about this. So if we look at why are people moving out here? Because if you take a look at every other state out there,
Yeah.
what is the average household income that they're making, and how much do the homes cost? San Francisco, California, the East Coast with the property taxes, it is like so overinflated, and the amount of money that they make, their average household income, dwarfs what we make out here. And they realize what I can buy. And a lot of times, what's happening is all these people are about to retire in the next 5 years, so they're making that transition.
I've had people where they've actually bought home or sold their home where they currently live, come here.
Yeah.
Maybe don't get it. They had a job,
Uh-huh.
and then let's say that they're sitting on a lot of money,
Mhm.
and then like for instance, they got laid off. They're just sitting on their money.
Yeah.
You know, they're not doing anything. They've already put a large down payment. They still got a ton of money in the bank, and they're just kind of waiting for this thing to kind of pass over. You know, happens all the time. Like if you're from Vegas, that's very hard to do because you're not coming from somewhere where you can sell something like a asset like a home and really make double the amount of profit. Really,
Yeah.
you know, that you sell it for the double of what you would buy here. Like I always get the biggest question I get is, hey, how much of a home can I buy for 400 or 500,000? I'm like,
As much as you want.
as much as you need,
Yeah.
man. I mean, at the end of the day,
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
look, I always say this: if you look at a home, and I mean, you got nice homes out here, but if you're a family of at least 3 to 5, whatever, you got more home than you need at 2,500 square feet. You could really buy a home 400, 500, 550, something like that, and you could live comfortably. And coming from another state, you got a lot of money,
And you don't pay the estate tax.
No.
I have buyers right now that are selling their house in San Francisco. It's 1,250 square feet, 3-bedroom, built in like 1959.
Yeah.
They just got an accepted offer. It was on the market for 1.3 million.
Wow.
They're coming here and buying a $700,000 house and having all this change left over.
Well, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of $1 million buyers too. Like you have a lot of people.
And that's a whole different market.
Yeah.
And believe this or not, we talked about money printing, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that coming out here and buying big property.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
And they're not even thinking twice about it.
And thank you guys.
No,
I really
that's the
do
thing.
appreciate
They're
it.
not. They're not even batting an eye on it. Just
You go 5,
what
10
they
years
want.
ago, and it's just like, man, should I do it? Should I pull the trigger? Should I go for it? And it's like, now it's just like, hey, give me 10, 15 properties. I mean, I can't count. It's always, these people, they know what they want.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. The month of March and April on the luxury sector, it did slow down.
Mhm.
But man, this month, I can't believe how much deals we're getting in place. And all these new constructions with these high-end homes, people are buying like crazy. It's like money's cheap.
Yeah. Well, money's cheap. And also you got people that are coming here and it's like, they've probably been sitting at home or they were probably stalled a few months of what they were trying to accomplish. And now it's like, okay, it's go time. So now everybody's like, man, I've been sitting at home. I've been doing nothing but, watching YouTube and watching things on TV. I'm out. I got to get out and buy a home now. It's like, you got people from California coming here all the time that they're just flying in. They're setting up a couple, week or two out here sometimes.
Matter of fact, you just had a client today came in. Now he's going under contract.
So it's just, look, I think everybody's been kind of like really, they've been secluded a little bit in their home. They've not been going and doing things.
Getting antsy.
they've literally had 2 months to find the home they want.
Yeah. And they haven't had the ability to go and physically see it.
Yes.
So now they're like, I got to go see
fiending,
it.
man.
Yeah.
This was crazy.
So how many, you deal with not a lot, but you deal with all types of varieties of clients. But for the most part, it's great because these people that come in and they know what they want, there's not a lot of hard selling, and they already trust what you guys are doing, and you're already good. So it's just like, boom, let's just make it happen. So, homes that are in $1 million.
Don't make it sound that easy, man, because then every realtor is going to want to do it.
It really, like, to get back to what you're saying at the beginning of the show, it's educating them and having the experience to educate them.
Yeah.
And really, it's about knowing the leverage you have and don't have, and then foreseeing what problems are going to come up ahead of time or might come up and addressing them before they even become a problem.
What do you think? And everybody wants to know, is the market, going to tank and all this other stuff? Where do you think this market's headed these next few months?
Well, I think it's probably going to trickle up just a little bit more, but I think with the elections coming around the corner, I think we're going to start to slow down probably around October, November. And it's probably going to pick up again, just depending on who's going to get elected.
Yeah.
But again, there's no crystal ball, man.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I thought the market was gonna tank. I had what? We had that duplex that I was gonna buy.
Yeah.
I got paranoid. I had another single family residence under contract. I got paranoid. I pulled the plug on it. Now it's worth double of what I would have paid, and I'm kicking myself in the butt. Matter of fact, we also had that other single story I was gonna buy as well, and I killed the deal for 15 grand. Remember? No, $1,500.
And you kick yourself every day.
Now I'm like, I should have just ate it.
Should have just took it.
But you know what? It's a learning lesson.
Yeah. Well, look,
You can't time the market, bro.
You know what makes me almost as angry as losing money?
What's
missing out on money I could have made.
Oh, yeah.
It kills me. Like,
you know,
with my stocks and crypto, I'm like,
it's like you're trying to set yourself up.
Yeah.
You're trying to have an asset that works for you, and you're getting a nice return on investment.
Yeah.
And it's like that's gone, and you don't see anything else out there. You're just like, dang, man, that sucks.
Yeah, so like if you're trying to buy as a primary residence, but you're trying to time the market, you're pretty much buying for the wrong reason.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That tells me that you're just a speculator and you're trying to make money. So if that's the case, then you just need to play the game and sit and wait. But if you're going to live in the property for 10 years, and let's just say if you're like a VA buyer and you're not putting nothing down, and you can't make those payments to some, market tanks, what do you lose?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you this much. Here's my thing is I think that as Vegas, you got the Raiders here now, right? They're going to come in. And as people start to get back into these casinos, I think you're going to start to see an even bigger flow of people coming in. But I think people that were waiting before or were going to buy a home and then they stopped coming out here. We got one coming from Hawaii that we closed, and she's saying that they're still having issues getting here because of COVID and what's going on.
Yeah, I think there's like a 14-day quarantine or something.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Also, there's a gentleman that's coming in July. That's one of our clients, and he can't go here because
from Hawaii.
From Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of Hawaiians are kind of stuck on the island. They're kind of wanting to come out here. They want to see what's going on, but they're not having the ability to.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think as Vegas, are you guys starting to see Vegas really starting to thrive a little bit more? People are out and kind of going, kind of getting the scene as far as you don't see a lot of people at bars. I mean, we don't go to bars. Do you go to bars, Chuck?
Yeah, I just came back from a bar. I just rolled right up in here.
He doesn't even remember his name right now.
Hey, if you guys have any questions regarding the Las Vegas real estate market or financing, go ahead and dial 702-257-5396.
It's funny because we start looking around. I had some people I know that went into a PT's and they said they went in there and you can't sit next to anybody.
Yeah.
Right. And they said that when you leave or when you're there, you feel like you want to leave because it feels like it's shutting down time. It was 5 o'clock, but it's like, it's like they look like it's like everybody's starting to leave. It's like leaving a club or something. It's just there's nobody around. Oh, we got another caller? Okay. Go ahead and push them through. Can you tell me their name? Benita? Benita, you online?
Oh, she's a super fan.
Benita. Hello. Benita?
All right, next call.
Hey, John, are you there? Line 1.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the show was really great, and that guy Chuck is here. He looked really handsome, and his partner over there.
He needs to get some damn hair.
Man, John, you sound just like Chuck is. Hey,
Midwest
John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? John? How you doing?
What's up, John?
What's going on, buddy? We got a little bit of a snag there. We couldn't hear you, and we were trying to see, but now we can hear you. So thank you for calling in. What's going on, man? What's your question today on a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what we can do is we'll take down your name and your number, and we'll reach on out to you. And what we can do is we'll send you properties that are within the age restricted and more of a remote location and within a guard-gated community or a gated community, and you can take a look at all the lists. But as far as like, is it quiet? Well, we don't know. I mean, the problem here as agents, we can't say that this is the quiet place, because what happens if I think it's quiet? Your mom moves out there and she's like, this is not quiet. So the best way to do it is we can send you all the age restricted locations. Then what we can do is go out there during the day, right? And also you probably want to go out there during nighttime too as well, and kind of get the feel for it. And that's the best way to combat that situation. What do you think?
55 and older, there's definitely a lot less kids roaming around. So
yeah, you'll not hear any dirt bikes.
It's probably going to be quiet
right?
just by common sense of that. Yeah. You won't have truckers driving around.
Chuck is to be doing wheelies down the street on a dirt bike.
Donuts.
Hey, I'm not there yet. I'm still working on it. Hey, John, did you have any other questions? Okay, so this is a good question. I get calls like this all the time. So the first thing I would ask you, is this going to be a primary residence? Okay. Now, the other thing is that, are you currently employed? Okay. So now, is she going to be transitioning her job from there to here? Mm-hmm. For a down payment. So here's the thing. There's going to have to be some sort of income that comes in. If she doesn't have income coming in, then she's probably going to have to pay cash. Unless if she's retiring, then they're probably going to have to use that income retirement versus her income that she's making now. Unless she goes on a loan, probably with you. So, I mean, there are some options, but here's the thing. With your situation, it's like playing a game of chess. And if you're going to get financing, you're going to have to do this the right way, the smart way. And the best way to do it is actually speak to Dan, the lender, so that way he can get the information that he needs. Then he will relay a message to me. Then I can put the pieces together like a puzzle. And now we have a roadmap. And I can say, hey, John, these are your options. If you want a home at this price point, this is what needs to be done in order for us successfully to get you the home that you guys want. Does that make sense?
I want to say a couple of things too, John. I'm actually the lender. And I wanted to actually tell you just a couple of things where if you are trying to get financing, you can get financing anywhere. I don't want to sit here and say that you have to use me or our services. We try to do the best job we can. If you want to look and see, well, what is the perks of getting somebody that's a local lender? Maybe get your offer accepted a little easier potentially, or maybe, it's better to work with the title companies here. Also, if you have an issue, you can come down to my office. We can discuss it. Chuck has a little bit more of a control on this as well. So.
Well, there's another thing I want to mention on top of this. When you work with a lender that's out of state, right, you're probably going to want to request a lending estimate, which gives you the breakdown of the total closing costs. However, you have to understand that lender does not do that much business here. So they probably don't know what the customary practices are. Who pays for what the builder pays for, or what the seller pays for. So you want a more of an accurate number when it comes to the lending estimate, right? So that's why you probably want to speak to a mortgage broker out here, right? Because they'll know exactly who pays for what. Because at the end of the day, you want to know exactly what you're paying for, and also you want to shop around and see what the fees are.
What are your thoughts, Brett? Anything?
Agreed 100%. I mean, especially on our end as a realtor too, with it being a local lender.
Yeah.
If I have an issue, if I need to go right to their office, have it resolved immediately. If it's out of state,
yeah,
they take my call when they take my call.
Now here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with using lenders that are out of state, because we use lenders out of state too as well. But it also comes down to the lender that you are working with, because some lenders are more aggressive than other lenders. Some may have more knowledge than other lenders. Some lenders may say, hey, you know what? This deal is too hard. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my money. I don't want to deal with it. So you have to find the right lender that can be very creative, especially when it comes to this type of financing and the transition that you're going to make. So it's all case by case basis. There's so much moving parts when you're picking and choosing the right lender.
One thing I want to say too, and this will be the kind of us wrapping this up because we've had a lot of talk on this. When somebody's coming out of state, the big thing is how are they going to have employment coming here if they don't have a job that they can work in any state and they can prove that. So the good part for me is that if there's ever any, outside the box or obstacles that come up, I can always run it. I have an underwriter that's in my office. I can go down to an underwriter and make sure and sign off on this. So that way we're not waiting until the 11th hour. And then the underwriter's like, hey, we have a problem.
Explain real quick. What is the underwriter?
The underwriter really makes the decision on you as a buyer. They look at your credit capacity collateral. They also assess the property and make sure that the value's there and there's no easements and anything going against the property. So it's really important to have an underwriter look at it, because as good as I think I am, which I think I'm okay, an underwriter is way far going to make that decision at the end of all this. So for me to have an underwriter make this decision up front, it really just helps you as a client not worry about anything coming up down the road, because you're risking your earnest money when you start to put in an offer.
And this puts you in a better position just due to the fact that you know what your conditions are and you have a game plan. And that's where I go back, say, hey, you know what? We got to put the pieces together. Here's the roadmap. Here's your options.
So, John, thank you for calling in. We got your information. I got the producers got your phone number, so we'll give you a call after studio or after the show. Do you have another caller here? Benita, she's still hanging out. Benita, you there? Benita, you are a sweetheart. First the worst, second the best. Second call, huh? Right. I love it. So what's going on today? What's your question?
Dad, I was just answering that question. I don't know, but I can actually get that information.
Yeah, we can definitely. I mean, as of right now, we don't know on the spot, but we can definitely obtain that immediately and let you know everything about it.
But I know that they're probably building that next gen out there too, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's next gen?
Well, next gen is like an attached casita, but it has its own little house, and there's a door that separates the two dwellings. But it's technically a single story. I mean, a single family residence.
So, Benita, where are you living at now? In Nevada. Okay, so you're here in Nevada. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, so I guess did the producer get your information? Maybe we can call you outside studio and we can give you a call back and give you that information.
Yeah, we can definitely get her that information. That's not a big deal. So
yeah. Okay.
Well, that's one good thing about their product is 98% of the things that you see in the model does come with their product. So if you're like one of those shoppers that just don't want to, get haggled and you got to, build your home and pick all these options, what you see is what you get over there. So if you're just that kind of buyer, I would definitely look into their product. So
yeah. And let me ask you this, Chuck, while she's on the phone. I mean, it's maybe off topic, but what about these smart homes that's coming out? You guys have been dealing with a lot of people wanting smart homes.
Dude, with the technology, a lot of builders, especially like Pardee, they're really adding all this stuff as far as an upgrade. But here's the thing. You could actually do all this stuff yourself because everything is all wireless.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that if you want a smart home, the problem with these new smart homes now is like you got Cat 5, Cat 6, you're pre-wiring your camera system and all that. The problem is technology changes on a consistent basis that you can never keep up with these things.
Well, but I think you go back 10 years, you didn't even have that option, right?
Yeah.
Now you have it, Now it's almost customary that you get a home.
Do everything on your phone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's almost mandatory, especially depending on the price point. Let's just say if you're doing $1 million homes, you better have certain type of rocker switches. You have to have certain type of LED lights. I mean, it's just an automatic at that price point. So there's just certain things that you have to have. So just keep this in mind. When you're building a home that's around 1.5, there's certain things that you just have to have in order for it to be worth the product, okay?
Benita, I just want to say, how's your Saturday going? You doing good, huh? How you liking this weather? You keeping safe? Good. Well, listen, I want to say thank you very much for calling in twice. We appreciate anybody that's calling in. You take time on your Saturday to give us a shout, so I appreciate that.
That's actually a good product, but
I was just there last week.
And you want to know something? That home's already sold.
Yeah.
It's about to go into contract, baby.
Money maker, money maker.
You know what? I'll say something, Benita. You got a lot of people that come out of state with money. So it's not, and I'm not saying everybody's got money, but there is a lot of people that have money coming from other states. So it's
unbelievable.
Desirable. Yeah,
I remember 30 years ago, if you had $1 million, you was like the king.
Oh.
Now it's like everybody's got money.
It's like a starter home.
Yeah, it's just weird, man.
You weren't like the Tiger King, weird.
Matter of fact,
Carol Baskins.
Hey, I was gonna go out that mullet, but it was just taking too long. I had to cut my hair.
All right, Benita, we'll let you go. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
We'll get in touch after the show. Have a good Saturday.
She's so nice. She's such a super fan, dude.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what?
Yeah.
You need people like that.
Yeah.
Because they're constantly up on that product. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're constantly up on what you're doing on a
Mhm.
consistent basis. I mean, you know, that's why you're who you are. You know, it's people get familiar with that brand, they get familiar with you, and they trust you, and it's like, it's done, you know?
Mhm.
So let's go back in and we'll talk a little bit more about kind of wrapping the show up here. We only have a few minutes. You guys got anything else to say? What's going on with real estate right now? You guys got any additional comments you want to make to the people out there listening?
Well, I really don't, but if you want to take some questions, because I know we got a lot of questions here online.
Yeah, take some questions, Brett.
Yeah, Brett, you want to run it off?
Well, it's a lot of people debating each other back and forth.
Oh, is that what's
Okay.
happening?
Let me try to see where there's actual
Democrat and
questions in
Republican.
here.
No, I'm just
I'm just reading them going back and
Well,
forth.
here's the thing.
I'm right. No, you're right.
There's one question that was on here. It says, "Hey, I have no money, but can I actually buy a home?"
Of course.
Well, don't say that, because you definitely do need some money as far as buying a home. But there are times where there's certain programs out there, right? We can actually get a home, get closing costs paid for, and also the down payment assistance. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, look, we're gonna go through every process and really try to go through every situation and try to get somebody. If somebody's got some money, we're gonna try to get you some help. Obviously, it's a little bit easier if you have at least the down payment. I always say if you got at least a down payment, enough for your appraisal, your home inspection, man, we got a big foot in the door. But if you don't got
it's still going to be hard though in today's market, because you have to understand, and I'm going to say this: people where they have just enough for a down payment, normally they're in the price point around the 400 and below because of the average household income, right? The problem is that that's majority of where all your market is at. So it's so saturated. So think about it. It's a little pond with a bunch of fishes, and everybody's trying to get that house.
Give us a question, Brett. You got something over there for us?
Somebody had a question. What are the steps in renting out a townhome after they buy it? They want to buy a townhome and then rent it out.
Well, I can tell you this: before you even buy the townhome, you might want to check the HOA resale package to see if you can even rent it out. Okay. So that's the first
Some
thing.
will have rental restrictions. Some will have a cap on the rental, which says that only a certain percentage of the rent or the people in the community can be renters.
I get a question. What about Airbnb? Where are those locations at? Like, is there certain pockets?
Well, I know like Henderson, they're more open to it, but there are some places in Las Vegas are grandfathered in. That's not my specialty, and that's not my sector, so I don't really deal with that.
Yeah.
But we do have an agent, Bob. He specializes in that. So again, if you guys are actually interested in something like that, contact our office. We'll get you with Bob. Also, if you have any questions regarding real estate or financing, go ahead and dial 702-257-5396. Did I get that number right?
Yeah, and how can they get a hold of you outside studio? Is there a way to get a hold of you outside studio?
Yeah, just go ahead and visit lvhomeexperts.com. Again, that's lvhomeexperts.com. And you can go ahead and start looking at homes from brand new, resale, traditional sales, whatever you want. It's all online.
You got a very inviting website.
Do I really?
Yeah, you do. I looked at it, and I didn't really click around because I know how that works. But I did look and see just kind of what it offers, and it really offers a nice variety.
Yeah.
And then it always leads back to, hey, if you want more information, follow me. You know, and you get that information.
Yeah, I mean the website's great because look, we have all the pictures, and here's the thing: our website, the way it was designed. It was designed to show you all the properties that are currently available. We're not like any other website out there where I could upload it with tons of properties that are, under contract or already sold, but I don't want to do that. I only want to show you properties that are currently available. So all the properties are online. You'll be able to look at all the pictures. You have some 3D tours on there too as well. You should be able to look at the map view. You should be able to look at the school zone. So you should be able to set up your own search criteria. So there's so much tools that is in that system. Matter of fact, if you're like up 2 a.m. and if you have any questions, we have a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. lvhomeexperts.com. What else do you got there over there, Brett? Anything? What do we got? Anything? What are you doing tonight, Brett?
Question. If I have 500 cash, what are my advantages to that? I would say with new homes, probably nothing.
Well,
because they don't care.
What?
I mean, incentives. We can get you incentives, but it won't get you a break on the price.
Yeah.
Well,
for the most part.
Oh, we got to finish this show. We're done already?
Yeah, we're wrapping up. We got about a minute left. But
shoot.
So look, we got a lot of good information going out. Please visit lvhomeexperts.com. Brett, Jenny, he's on Chuckett's team from Simply Vegas. Very seasoned, very solid real estate agent. You might want to look him up. Also, Chuckett's Krulsawat. You don't have to even introduce him. And this is Dan French. And this is LV Home Experts. The show will be here every Saturday from 6 to 7 right here on KDWN News Talk Radio. We'll see you next week.
The one main thing
Yeah.
that people keep on saying, and they did it last time too, was they can't hear the question, the live stream, the YouTube can't hear the questions that are coming through in the radio, so they don't know.
Yeah, no,
Really
and,
what
and
that
that's a
about.
good point. So basically, you know what's going to have to happen?
You did a good
I
Thanks,
I
man,
wonder
you
if they can hear it from there. Oh, they won't even be able to hear it from there either.
Yeah, they all like a bunch of
No.
comments on it.
The questions from
Oh.
these. That's something. Hey guys, that's something that we're gonna have to work out because right now this is just only directly from the phone. However, if you guys want to hear the question, what's gonna happen is we're gonna upload the video, and it's gonna be edited, so that way you don't have to look all through this bull crap because right now it's just through one phone here. So the video.